4 months ago, Sophia stood in her kitchen, hands covered in flour and frosting. Her chocolate chip cookie video had gone up 2 days ago, and, well, 0 views. No comments, no subscribers. She sighed, not because she cared about the numbers, but because she poured her heart into those videos. Every cookie was her moment of joy, every recipe a way to connect. She whispered, "There's got to be a better way." What Sophia didn't know was that she was about to find one small shift at a time. Before the channel, before the success, before any of it, there was just Sophia, a 46-year-old stay-at-home mom who felt like life had already passed her by. She had no college degree, no work experience, no resume worth printing. She had tried things before, oh, so many things. There was the time she tried to sell candles from home, then essential oils, then handmade tote bags that never made it past the prototype. Each time she started with hope and ended with disappointment. Her 2 teenagers, Ella and Jake, eventually stopped asking how her new thing was going. Her husband gave a half smile when she said she wanted to try something else, and she couldn't really blame them. She didn't believe in herself either, but she loved baking, loved it so much she dreamt that one day she could bring joy to thousands through her YouTube recipes. So it all started 4 months ago. One morning, after dropping her kids at school, she quietly started filming cookie videos in her pajamas. No one knew. Her husband had gone to work like always, and Ella and Jake were at school, thinking that their mom was just cleaning the kitchen like always. This went on for days. Each upload felt like a whisper into a forest. Beautiful, but unheard. 3 months in, Sophia felt defeated. She had less than 500 subscribers, and her growth had stalled. She tried trends. She bought a better mic. She learned thumbnails. But something didn't stick. One evening, she checked comments under her video that taught how to bake cookies with a toddler. Someone said, "Thank you, Mom. My daughter loved this." That moment lit a spark. She realized she wasn't making videos for fame. She was sharing joy. She just needed clarity. That afternoon, after the final whistle blew at her son's soccer game, Sophia lingered in the parking lot. She pretended to search for something in her trunk. Really, she just wasn't ready to go home. Not to the dishes, not to the empty Google Docs labeled business ideas, not to the creeping thought that maybe this was it for her. That's when she heard footsteps behind her. Shoe drama again? It was Karen, another soccer mom, laughing gently. Sophia chuckled, wiping her eyes before turning around. Nope, just hiding from my own life. Karen didn't say anything at first. She just stood beside her, arms crossed, gazing out at the fading sunlight. Then she said quietly, "You ever feel like you're meant for something more, but you just can't figure out how to get there?" Sophia didn't answer, but the lump in her throat did. Karen continued, "A few years ago, I felt exactly like this. Drowning in laundry, bills, and self-doubt. I kept thinking, what happened to me?" She looked Sophia in the eye. Then I stumbled across something that shifted everything. Not overnight, but it got me moving again. Sophia raised an eyebrow. "A podcast? A TED Talk?" Karen smiled. "A book, actually. A strange little book about habits. Didn't look like much, but it changed how I do everything." From her oversized mom bag, Karen pulled out a gently worn paperback. Corners bent, notes in the margins, sticky tabs everywhere. Sophia took it slowly, like it might break in her hands. "I'm not saying it'll fix everything," Karen added, "but it helped me stop feeling like I was failing before I even started." Sophia nodded, eyes locked on the cover. Though she didn't read the title just yet, all she could think was, what if this time, something actually stuck? That Monday morning, Sophia did something different. She didn't set a massive to-do list. She didn't promise to overhaul her life. She just wrote one sentence in her notebook. "When I finish my morning coffee, I'll spend 10 minutes planning today's video clip. Not an hour, not even half. Just 10 minutes. But here's the key. She attached it to something she was already doing. Coffee. That quiet ritual that no one dared interrupt, mug in hand, soft light through the blinds, 5 minutes of peace before the house woke up. Now, it had a partner, a tiny creative action. She gave it a name that made her laugh. Content Coffee Quickie. It wasn't meant to be professional, it was meant to feel doable. By Tuesday, she had scribbled a better video title. By Wednesday, she refilmed her intro with a warmer smile and a clearer hook. By Friday, she rearranged clips to improve flow, realizing storytelling was more important than perfection. And each week after, One small win at a time, a tighter intro, a thumbnail that finally popped, a 10-second voiceover that made everything feel smoother. None of it felt dramatic. In fact, the changes were barely noticeable at first, but something strange began to happen. Instead of dreading YouTube Studio, she looked forward to it. Even when her subscriber count inched forward, 50 here, 100 there, it didn't feel like a failure anymore. Because for once, she wasn't measuring success by external applause. She was measuring it by the habit she was building, by the confidence she felt showing up every single day, even if no one else noticed yet. And quietly, almost invisibly, she was turning into a real creator. 3 months in, Sophia wasn't rich. She wasn't viral, and she still couldn't explain how algorithms really worked. But something was changing, not just in her channel, in her life. Her mornings felt purposeful, her thoughts felt organized, and for the first time in years, her confidence wasn't hiding under a pile of self-doubt and what if I'm not good enough. One afternoon, while folding laundry in silence, she caught herself smiling. Why? Because she realized she finally had something of her own. Not a job title, not a business plan, but a quiet, personal project that gave her back her voice. Her channel wasn't just about cooking or homemaking or how-tos. It was about showing up, consistently, imperfectly, but proudly. She started keeping a simple list in her journal called My Rich Life Wins. And no, it didn't include yachts or shopping sprees or flashy milestones. It looked more like this. My daughter asked me to teach her how to edit video. Someone from Canada left a comment saying I made their day. I said no to an invitation because I wanted to work on my video, and I didn't feel guilty about it. I taught myself Canva, took me 2 hours, nailed it. These weren't successes in the traditional sense, but to Sophia, they were gold, because they meant she was slowly designing a life that felt like hers again, not just one she was surviving through. That's what her rich life was becoming, not about more stuff, but more ownership, more agency, more alignment between what she valued and how she spent her time. She didn't need to be a millionaire to feel rich. She needed to feel in control. And now, every small video, every uploaded short, every thoughtful reply to a comment was a brick in that foundation. And for a woman who once doubted whether she even belonged on YouTube, that feeling was worth more than any viral moment. Sophia's habit building gave her more than metrics. She found confidence. She found joy watching her kids ask, "Which cookie are we baking today?" She found peace knowing she was following a schedule, even if small steps only each day. One Sunday, Ella said, "Mom, your baking videos are my favorite. They feel real." That hit her deeply. They were real. Because Sophia was. One afternoon, Sophia thanked Karen for the small gift in the form of an old book that had changed her life. Karen smiled and held up a paperback that read, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Not about baking, not about YouTube strategy, about habits that stick, about identity-based change, about systems that let you become the kind of person who automatically does the things they love. Atomic Habits taught her that you don't start by trying to bake perfection. You start by being someone who bakes regularly, no matter how small. James Clear is a writer and speaker who's built a global following by teaching simple, actionable habits. He's not a guru, he's a teacher, translating life's little routines into big results. He's lived these principles, and he helped millions discover that small changes build real identity shifts. If you're like Sophia, no fancy credentials, no perfect setup, just a dream, you don't need a grand launch or a huge strategy. You just need a small habit, a clear identity, a tiny action daily. Becoming a creator or anything isn't a one-day event. It's a process. If you've been thinking, I'm too old, I'm too inexperienced, I'm not a tech person, know this: small habits build real identity shifts. Comment below. What tiny habit can you start today? Like this video if it helped you, share it with other moms, and subscribe for more wonderful stories inspired by powerful books, helping you grow financially and personally, one book at a time.